Good evening, Namaskar. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, EcoVid Eyes of Economics. I, Vasant Kumar, present here with the same topic, economics, economy and central problems in an economy. Under this chapter, we are going to discuss and learn about solution of central problems in different economies. My dear students, we have three types of economies. As we know, we have already discussed. One is market economy, another is centrally planned economy, and third one is mixed economy. Then let us see how the central problems are being solved under these three types of economies with the intention what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. If we talk about market economy, this economy is regulated, operated by capitalist businessmen and investors. Their intention about what to produce is that they should produce, and they always try to produce high priced goods and provide high priced services to generate more profit. It means they provide and produce services and goods for a rich society of an economy. Then how to produce? They always try to imply and apply that technique of production, which will lower the cost of production so that they can generate more profit. And for whom to produce? Of course, if it is a high price, then it is produced for higher society or higher society of the people or high earning people who can pay high price for their products and services provided by market economy, that is otherwise known as capitalistic economy. Now let us discuss centrally planned economy. As you know, this economy, centrally planned economy, decisions relating to what, how and for whom to produce are taken by some central authority appointed by the government of the country, and its aim is to maximize social welfare rather than monetary gain or profit. So they always try to adopt and implement labor intensive technique like developing country. You can take example that India always tries to implement labor intensive technique because of huge unemployment and huge workforce, so that the double intention will be fulfilled when labor intensive techniques are applied in underdeveloped and developing country. And what is the objective? Objective is to maximize social welfare rather than monetary gain. Then how to produce? That is labor intensive. What to produce? The goods and services will be produced for the welfare of the people and which are demanded in an economy. So our country is agrarian country, and our country's people standard of living is not so high. So according to this, the decision will be taken to produce all such goods and provided services. Suppose Indian Railway, say services provided by the government of India, Ministry of Railway at minimum cost so that everybody can travel and enjoy the train traveling up to their destination. So it maximizes welfare rather than monetary gain. And for whom to produce? The people of the economy. The people of the economy, as per their standard of living, the goods and services are to be produced and it will be served to the people at minimal cost. Then mixed economy. As you know, mixed economy up to little extent capitalism is there, and up to little extent government interference is there. So government must interfere up to a little extent, and capitalist people and investors are also interfere up to a little extent. That means you can say 50-50, or their ratio sometimes varies. And the intention is profit making as well as welfare, doing welfare of the people in an economy. So what to produce? What to produce is decided by on the basis of market forces of supply and demand. Supply and demand. How much demand for a certain good is there, and as per the demand, the supply will be there, and the production of goods and services will be there for the people. And what to produce? The producer always think that they must maximize their profit. Those who are capitalists, they will try to earn more profit, but due to government interference or intervention, the profit for the capitalist is minimized and welfare is maximized. So here is also, you can take example in India, producers are free to produce cloth or steel to maximize their profits. But in other hand, government facilitate the railways which are monopoly of the government. The government provides transport services at nominal rates so that poorer sections of the society can avail them. So in one hand, profit orientation is there, in another hand, welfare orientation is there, and both are going parallelly and side by side by government and capitalist. Then this way we can solve out the problems of central problems. The problems that are related to the central problems with government and private investors. So let us discuss about, to explain this thing more, we need to take help of PPC, production possibility curve, or production possibility frontier, or you may call this production possibility boundary and transformation curve. So it has four names: production possibility curve, production possibility frontier, production possibility boundary, and transformation curve. Because MRP is exercised in this concept, marginal rate of transformation, MRT. Okay? So now, what is PPC? We should know. PPC क्या है? Let us know. PPC is a curve showing alternative production possibility of two goods with the given resources and technique of production. It is also called production possibility boundary or production possibility frontier. Then it shows, this definition shows the resources are fully and efficiently utilized and technique of production is constant when we are discussing about PPC. For example, we can take that if in an economy two goods are to be produced, and what will be their ratios. So production of wheat in tons and production of rice in tons. Suppose we have 5 bundles, 5 ratios of these two goods of production in an economy. Suppose bundle A, 100 tons of wheat will be produced, then 0 tons of rice will be produced. If we will shift the resource from wheat to rice by declining 10, if declining 10 means 100 minus 10, then 90 tons wheat will be produced in an economy over a period of time. Then some resources are shifted to rice. The rice will be produced 10 tons. In such a way, when we decline the resources utilization to produce one commodity, then another commodity production will increase. For example, 100, 90, 70, 40, 0. In such a way, wheat in tons, if it will be produced, then what will be effect on production of rice in tons? So when it is 100 wheat, 0 rice. Then when it is 90 tons wheat, then rice is 10 tons. Then when it is 70 tons wheat, then rice is 20 tons. Then when 40 tons wheat will be produced, then 30 tons of rice will be produced. When 0 tons of wheat will be produced, then 40 tons of rice will be produced. Then this production possibility curve shows the production combinations of two goods with given resources and technology. The technology is constant. and resources must be utilized up to the largest extent, that means maximum extent or fuller utilization of resources and efficient utilization of resources without any wastage. Efficient means without any wastage, the resources must be utilized in production of goods. When we saw here that when we are producing less of a commodity, the resources are shifting and transformed from that good to another good. In case of wheat, we have already discussed, that is 100, 90, 70, 40, 0. And rice 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 tons. So in such a way, one is increasing when the another is declining. So that is so that it is known as transformation curve also, because it is otherwise known as transformation curve. So now this curve divide two areas. One is attainable and one is non-attainable. Attainable means that according to our availability of resources and technology, we can attain to produce a combination of two goods in an economy. If it is lying on the line of PPC, then it is fuller utilization of resources. Then below the curve, if any point shows two sets of goods are produced in an economy, then it is underutilization. And non-attainable area we cannot attain, we don't have that resources and technology to produce that bundle of goods in an economy. So the unattainable combination of output and attainable combination of output are categorized with the help of the PPC curve. Then assumptions of PPC. PPC का जो आधार क्या है, PPC कर्व का जो बना है इसका आधार क्या है? Point number 1, that the given resources are fully and efficiently utilized and there is no change in technology. Technology will not be changed. I have already discussed. Now, if the things or these assumptions will be changed, if the resources will be changed, decrease or increase, then what will happen? If it decreases or increases for single commodity or both the commodities, then what will happen? If technology will change for good X, suppose, then what will happen? And if the technology will change for good Y, then what will happen? If the technology will change for both the goods, then what will happen? We'll discuss in the next video, in the next class. So I think that this video is most supportive to your curriculum and you must have satisfied with your doubts. If it is so, please like, share, comment and do not forget to subscribe if you are new to my YouTube channel. And I hope you must be safe and healthy. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for being with me. Good night. Namaskar. Jai Hind.